You're listening to Mind the Gap with Michael Comyn. In this episode, The Faces We Wear, Michael explores the masks we put on to meet the world, the hero, the caregiver, the ruler, the seeker, and how they shape the journeys we take and the stations we sometimes miss.
Welcome back to Mind the Gap. In this new season, we're exploring the ideas that shape my book, The Next Station Is. Stories about the stations we pass, the choices we make, and the quiet courage it takes to step off the train and begin again. In our first episode, we spoke about the hidden scripts that guide us through life, the rules and expectations that tell us which stations belong to us and which we should pass by. Today we're talking about the faces we wear, the roles we play in order to fit, to lead, and to belong. If you've ever spent any time sitting at a train station, then you'll know what I mean when I say that every person carries something of themselves in the way they move. There's the commuter in a rush, shoulders forward, eyes locked on the clock. The tourist, map in hand, moving with curiosity and uncertainty. The parent juggling bags and children, scanning for danger and for the next snack. Each one wears a kind of face, a role, a version of themselves they've learned to inhabit. Some are temporary, like the hats we take on and off. Others become so familiar that we forget they're not our skin. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung described these faces as archetypes. He believed that across every culture and every era, human beings draw on a shared cast of inner characters: the hero, the caregiver, the ruler, the lover, and the seeker. We meet them in stories and myths, but they live in us too. They're the masks we wear when we step into the world. Think of the hero, always ready for a challenge, never content to rest. The caregiver, endlessly giving, more often until there's nothing left to give. The ruler, determined to hold everything together and stay in control. These are not random habits, but deep and ancient roles that shape how we show up when life calls our name. The problem is, we often mistake the mask for the self. The hero might say, "We can't stop here, there's more to prove." The caregiver whispers, "This station isn't for you, someone else needs you more." The ruler insists, "Don't leave the carriage, you'll lose control." These voices sound so familiar, so reasonable, that we believe them. But they're only part of who we are, not the whole story. I once worked with a leader who was admired by everyone around her. She was competent, compassionate, endlessly available to her team. But beneath that surface, she was exhausted. She felt trapped, resentful, and unseen. When we explored what was going on, it became clear that she had been living entirely inside the caregiver archetype. Her unspoken rule was, never put yourself first. Every time an opportunity appeared, she turned it down, convinced her duty was to support others. She had missed station after station because she couldn't imagine wearing any other face. The danger isn't the masks themselves. They serve us well. It's when one mask takes over and blocks out the rest. Jung called this imbalance the shadow, the part of ourselves we ignore or deny. The hero's shadow is a fear of vulnerability. The caregiver's shadow is resentment. The ruler's shadow is loneliness. When those shadows stay hidden, they run the show from behind the curtain. That's often why people feel stuck. They sense that life is offering something new. The train slows. The doors open. Yet the role they've cast themselves in refuses to move. The hero thinks, "Not yet, I haven't earned it." The lover says, "If I leave, I'll be abandoned." The seeker says, "There must be something better ahead." And so we stay seated, trapped not by circumstances, but by the face we've chosen to wear. The Stoics had a great way of understanding this, though their language was different. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Each day provides its own gifts." Every station, every moment carries something worth noticing, if we can look up long enough to see it. But if you're wearing the mask of the restless hero, you'll miss the quiet blessings in front of you, forever chasing the next battle. If you're wearing the ruler's mask, you might see the gift as a threat to your control. And if you're a caregiver, you may be too busy tending everyone else's journey to notice your own. Emotional intelligence brings this into daily life. Self-awareness isn't only about recognizing feelings, it's about noticing patterns. Do you catch yourself saying yes when you mean no? Do you tighten your grip when things feel uncertain? Do you find yourself seeking challenge after challenge, afraid that stillness means failure? These are the moments when the mask is speaking. The more clearly you can see it, the less it controls you. Culture plays a part too. In Ireland, humility is often valued, so the ruler archetype may be looked on with suspicion, while the caregiver is praised. In North America, the hero tends to be celebrated, the lone achiever breaking through, while the quieter nurturer may go unnoticed. Different cultures reward different faces, and over time we learn which ones are acceptable to show and which ones must stay hidden. Jung's wisdom was not that we should remove these masks, but that we should balance them. A healthy life draws on many faces. The hero learns to rest, the caregiver learns to receive, and the ruler learns to trust. The lover learns to stand alone. We don't need to throw away the masks, only to stop believing that they are all of who we are. So let me ask you something. Which archetype do you recognize most in yourself? Are you the hero, always chasing the next challenge? The caregiver, always saying yes? The ruler, always trying to hold things together? Or the seeker, forever looking ahead, but never quite content? Recognizing your dominant archetype is like tuning into the voice that announces the stations in your mind. Once you know that voice, you can decide whether to listen or not. I remember another leader, this time someone who lived almost entirely inside the ruler archetype. They valued structure, precision, and stability, strengths that had served them well. But when a crisis came, their team didn't need structure, they needed humanity. At first, they resisted, clinging to control. Then gradually, they allowed another part of themselves to emerge, the caregiver who would listen and support. The shift was remarkable. Their team felt closer to them than ever before. By loosening their grip on one mask, they found a deeper form of leadership. That, I think, is the heart of Jung's teaching and of this whole journey. If you wear only one mask, you'll miss the stations that require another. The hero will miss the quiet stop where love waits. The caregiver will miss the stop where self-belief is tested. And the ruler will miss the station where freedom lies. And the seeker, well, they may miss them all, forever chasing the next horizon. So how do we work with the masks? We'll start by noticing. Over the next few days, pay attention to the moments when you automatically say yes, when you feel the urge to take control, or when you seek challenge for its own sake. Ask yourself, which face am I wearing now? Then, gently wonder, would another serve me better? You might like to try this small exercise. Draw a circle and divide it into 4 parts. Label them hero, caregiver, ruler, and seeker. In each section, note times when the archetype has served you well and times when it's held you back. Maybe the hero helped you finish a degree, but also pushed you to burnout. Maybe the caregiver made you a loyal friend, but left you exhausted. The ruler gave you stability, but also kept you rigid. And the seeker opened horizons, but also left you restless. That map is a mirror. It shows not just the masks you wear, but how they shape your journey. Then choose one archetype that dominates your life and imagine what it would be like to take that mask off, even briefly. If you're the caregiver, could you let someone care for you? If you're the hero, could you rest without guilt? If you're the ruler, could you delegate and trust? That single act might be the same as stepping off at a station you've passed by 100 times. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." That becoming doesn't happen by clinging to one face. It happens by allowing all of your humanity to come forward. The masks will always be there, but you're not bound to them. So, the next time the train slows, and the announcement calls your name, pause for a moment and listen. Which mask is speaking? Is it urging you to stay seated or inviting you to step off? And if you dared to change the face, the role, the story, what might be waiting for you on the platform? Thank you for listening to Mind the Gap. If this episode resonated with you, you'll find full reflection and exercise in my new book, The Next Station Is. It's available now in paperback, hardback, and ebook editions on Amazon. Until next time, I'm Michael Comyn, and remember, every station offers its own gift, if only you have the courage to see it. Oh, and mind the gap.
You've been listening to Mind the Gap with Michael Comyn. This episode, The Faces We Wear, was inspired by Chapter 2 of his book, The Next Station Is, a companion to the series that explores how we find our true direction by questioning the roles we play and the stories we've been given. You can find the link to the book in the podcast notes.